and we had to come by and look at one of the most charming little airplanes on the whole field. I've always loved the various airplanes that have something to do with Hummel, and so we're seeing a display here that we haven't seen for a little while. I'm Dan Johnson. I'm talking with Terry Hallett. Terry, first of all, welcome back to Oshkosh, and you're in a different place than you used to be. What's that about?
In the past, we've always set up down in the ultralight area. The kind of our niche was lower budget. We're a small company. This year, it's been 2 or 3 years since we've been at Oshkosh, and just decided we need to come back, make the presence, let people know we're still here and doing well. So we came down to the North Display area and set up, and we've been elated with it. We've had a ton of people through this booth.
We got some real pretty airplanes here. Let's do a little bit of history first. How many airplanes with Hummel attached to them are flying? Approximately.
There's about 1,000 airplanes total. The oldest design is the Hummel bird that we're sitting here with. It's been around since 1981, so it's actually to be the 35th anniversary of the Hummel bird. Then the UltraCruiser came along in 2000, so we got the 15th anniversary of the UltraCruiser, which is an ultralight design. Along with the Hummel bird, the H5 is the EAB kit-built airplane.
That's the one over my shoulder here, okay?
Correct. It's been around for about 10 years now. So.
10 years, okay. I think the last one I flew was the UltraCruiser.
That's correct.
Down at Sun and Fun.
I still got that picture hanging on my wall.
Oh, do you? Well, and you were not quite the head of the company at that time.
Correct.
Is that correct? How long have you been the main man?
Yeah, I've been around since Maury split off the engine business from the aircraft business in about 2000, and Scott Casser at Hummel Engines does a great job with the engines, and then I took over in about 2003 with the aircraft side of things.
And how's the last, you haven't been here for 3 years, but evidently you've been doing well enough in those 3 years that you haven't had to be here.
Yeah,
so
no,
how well's it been going in the last few years?
That's kind of a catch-22. You know, when things are slow, it's tough to put up the funds to come and show up here. That's the biggest niche for us. Like I said, we're a small company, but it's coming back. I mean, I feel really positive about things. Plan sales are up. Kit sales are improving, phones and emails are really keeping us busy.
Now there's a lot of people that don't do plans built anymore. The kit aircraft development, I'll call it, has been a big deal. I mean, it's helped a lot of people build airplanes when plans were just, I'm sorry, that's just too much. I can't do all that. But you're still selling a lot of plans.
Oh yeah. And the way I look at it is with the H5 and the UltraCruiser, we have a complete kit available to that. We have everything but the skins for the Hummel bird. So we'll sell it as plans. If guys want to switch over and buy some parts to help the process get sped up, we do that.
So you got to mix and match.
Yeah, we do. I think you got to, it's a small business. So if I cut out the plans builders and I only do kits or vice versa, my market shrinks too much. So it's a little more work, but we support everybody any way they want to go. We're real excited about a little venture over in Germany, if I can mention that.
Yeah, please do.
I was approached by a group of guys from Germany to introduce our UltraCruiser into a new 120 kilogram class over there in Europe, which I think you've written about in the past. It's been through testing. We got a few little things to tweak, but they'll be flying that soon over there. They introduced it at Friedrichshafen, which is the European Oshkosh.
Right.
And everything went really well. So we're excited about that.
I did see it over there, and I was kind of curious about that. So just to clarify for folks that may not have seen those articles, the 120 kilogram class, 120 kilograms, about 264 pounds. So it's almost a Part 103, and it's very similar. The German authorities, their LBA, like our FAA, has said, look, if you can stay within these constraints, you can do a lot more. Now they still, as you just said, they're going to require some things. So you've got to go prove some stuff that you don't have to prove here. But it's much easier, and it makes for a lower cost airplane. And Germany and all of Europe is just like the U.S. They're trying to bring more pilots into the fold, and that's one way to do it. So good thing for you. So the little Hummel bird here, which is just an attractive little machine, they all look really small. They're kind of like those clown cars where how does that many people get out of that car? Well, how do big guys who like our hamburgers get into these airplanes? How well does the airplane really fit people in different sizes?
The Hummel bird was designed around Maury, basically. And Maury, when he designed this, was probably 5'6" and 130 pounds. a big guy, according to him, of 160 or 70 pounds could get in it. So since then we've made the fuselage a little bigger. We're at about 200 pounds and 6 foot, 6'2".
Oh wow!
We'll still fit in a Hummelbird, believe it or not. And then the H5 is where I got involved. I said, "More, I don't fit in anything you've got. We help me design something a little bigger," and that's really where the original UltraCruiser Plus, which now is the H5, was developed. So we can get about a 300, 310 pound guy in the H5. We had a guy in here yesterday that was 6'8". So,
I was just going to say, when I walked up to your display space here, there was a fellow sitting in the H5. He got out. He's taller than me.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how much. I'm about average height, but he had 6 inches of room in there before he got to the top of the windscreen. So he had a lot of space in there.
Yeah, we encourage anybody to come by and certainly take a look at things. Sit in it, try one on. In any single place airplane, I encourage you to do that.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about construction material on the airplane, then we'll come to the build effort. Let's talk about the kit effort. First of all, the materials. How's the airplane made?
Yeah, from a kit, everything is aluminum or all metal. There's no fiberglass or composites in the aircraft.
None whatsoever?
None whatsoever.
Okay.
Maury wouldn't have it. He's always been a sheet metal guy. And from a kit, everything, what I tell people is when I pull the fasteners and it falls in a pile, that's how I ship it to you. So everything is formed, bent, welded. The spar is still assembled. We don't disassemble it. I mean, the spar is pre-assembled.
Okay, so that's one important component nobody's got to make.
Yeah, there's no solid riveting to do in the airplane. Everything is pull rivets. AVEX is kind of a standard rivet. It's been around for a long, long time. Build time on either the UltraCruiser or the H5 is about 500 hours from a kit.
Okay.
From scratch, truly scratch, go buy sheet metal and scrounge things up is probably a 1,200 hour project.
That's all though.
Yeah,
that's not really too bad considering.
It's a really simple design. It's really straightforward. You can shorten any of that by buying components from us, or we can, I'll sell you laser cut flats that you can form, which is less expensive than a kit. We'll work with you however we can get you.
So a guy that was really quite ambitious said, well, I want to do a lot of it myself, but there's certain parts I'm just not comfortable doing, or you can do it so much more efficiently that I want to buy certain parts. So he can buy the plans, and then he can say, okay, well, I'm not going to tackle that or this.
For instance, ribs and bulkheads. You can buy the ribs and bulkheads. It's a heck of a jump start. Cuts about 300 hours right out of the top.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, for $1,200, you save $300.
Oh wow! Yeah, well, that would seem to be a pretty economical purchase there. We normally stay away from price on these because our videos can last a long time on the web. So, folks,
our prices do too. That's okay.
Yeah, well, check with the factory anyway. But put us in the ballpark to get any of the 3 models in the air. That means the whole bit: instruments, paint, engine, landing gear, the whole thing. Typically, what will somebody be spending?
On a Hummelbird, because it's not a complete kit, we have a builder's package, we call it, which is all the components that we do offer in the sheet metal and extrusions that you make from. You'll have about $8,500, and that ready to fly, you're going to be in the $12,000 to $14,000 somewhere.
So, a lot of people have said, and I'm looking back to look at all our viewers on this, too many people have said airplanes are too expensive today. And there are some very expensive, breathtakingly expensive aircraft, no question.
Absolutely.
But $12,000, $15,000, that's affordable by almost anybody. So I'm not a very mechanical guy, and a lot of other people are probably more mechanical than me, but maybe don't feel quite up to a kit. How hard is the kit?
Oh, the kit's really simple. Like I said, everything is pre-drilled. Especially on the H5, we're now doing an assembly video which says, go get these parts, this is how they go together. Go get these parts. I'm really excited about getting those videos done. We're about halfway through on the H5, we'll do the UltraCruiser next. And from a kit standpoint, the H5 is probably about a $22,000 completed project. And the UltraCruiser is around $19,000 or something like that. That's buying a kit, buying an engine, not fabricating it.
So $15,000 to $22,000, that's going to cover the whole line. Tell me a little bit more about the half Volkswagen engine. Power, what it does for you. They were originally designed as a 28-32 horse was a standard. If you change the cylinders, you get 32 horse. Then they start stroking. That came to 37 horses, around for a long, long time. Now Scott's actually doing an offset grind in the crank to allow a longer stroke that we can get 45 horse out of a little 2-cylinder engine. Wow.
That's kind of becoming the standard because everybody likes power. You never have too much. Aluminum nickel-sulfide cylinders on them. We do it for the weight. Durability is kind of a bonus for us. But when you're building an all-metal ultralight, you take advantage of every ounce and pound you can. But it'll save us about 5 pounds on a 2-cylinder engine.
Okay.
The 2-cylinder engine's right around $4,000, a little more for the 45 horse. But that's with the aluminum cylinders. We recommend aluminum cylinders on probably around 120, 125 miles an hour on 2 gallons an hour.
2 gallons an hour.
Maybe 2.1 if you're really pushing.
I mean, that's pretty easy math to do. That's 60-something miles per gallon. So, a lot of great information there from you, Terry. But people have a lot of questions. They want to see stuff. Where do we send them on the web? We'll put it on the screen for you. But, where do we go?
Flyhummel.com is the website. There's email addresses available there. You can reach me directly.
And is there a separate one for the engines since it's another company? You want to mention them as well?
Yes, it's HummelEngines.com. They'll get you the stuff.
Okay, between those two, you can find out pretty much all they need to know, and they can find a way to.
And there's a link to him from us on our website.
Okay, there you go. So great stuff. Lots more about affordable aviation of all kinds available on BuyDanJohnson.com.